transparency. And when you look at other issues, the top issue in 2024 and now is affordability. And Republicans in 2024, they owned that issue. More voters thought Republicans could make things more affordable for people. Now in 2025, Democrats seem to own that issue. When you're looking ahead, how do you think, or who do you think is the party that right now is better equipped to continue owning this issue?
Well, I think the Democrats are certainly in a better position now to make the case that the buck stops with Republicans who control every branch of government, right? When it comes to why are things not more affordable? And I think that Donald Trump, a person who is a multi-billionaire, right? Rolling out the sort of lines about, I don't want to hear any more about affordability because you can just go get your Walmart Thanksgiving dinner. Those are sound bites that reflect just being so out of touch with the experience of the American people who are experiencing high costs, continued inflation, really challenging affordability issues. Around the fight around the government shutdown in recent weeks, one of the things that was most interesting was the juxtaposition of issues on the Democratic side around things like renewing insurance subsidies, right, for the ACA premiums and others, juxtaposed with the things that Donald Trump's administration is choosing to spend money on: the ballroom, the new plane for Kristi Noem, the bailout for Argentina. So it's not necessarily even about the dollars and cents of, well, we're spending over here instead of over here. It's the let them eat cake feeling that gives the American people about how this Republican Party is operating while they continue to really face challenges that they thought would be relieved by now.
And to that shutdown point, it was really interesting that after the election, it seemed like voters were telling Democrats, signaling to them, we're with you on this shutdown fight. And Democrats said, hey, we are really entrenched in our position because we need to lower the cost of healthcare for all Americans. Then right after that, and it seemed like Democrats had more leverage at the moment. Then we see a small group of Democrats in the Senate vote with Republicans for that continuing resolution that ultimately opened the government. And they did not receive any concrete concessions when it came to healthcare. I mean, what do you make of that? Do you think, and I know a shutdown, a lot of people in the federal government, who work there, they weren't receiving paychecks. Shutdown's a horrible thing. But do you think that Democrats really dropped the ball when it came to that fight? I mean, what do you make of that?
I do. I think that those 8 Democrats, really 7 Democrats and 1 independent, really, really did wrong by the caucus and actually also by the long-term interests of the American people in how they did that. Right. I think it will be interesting to see how this is reflected around the fight for Chuck Schumer's job and whether or not a replacement is coming. But I think ultimately those 8 Democratic senators, if you count Angus King, right, they really did a thing that was not part of the plan and was not effective, because I don't see a lot of coverage right now about the insurance subsidies of those premiums. Right. They've just left it. It's gone. We had a week of a news cycle of, don't worry, guys, we're promised a vote by John Thune. Americans know that they can't trust Republican senators. So I think they really missed the moment. There was really interesting polling as that fight was going on that showed that Democrats actually holding the line on those issues, the American people supported it, and they wanted to see Democrats continue to hold the line on that issue. And that if they would continue to have higher favorability with voters, but actually, especially among independents, those persuadable voters, they went pretty negative with them if they gave in, and they did. So I think they're going to have a little bit of recovery work to do on that front.
And then when you're looking at 2026 first, do you think they have enough time for recovery work there? Because I know that the American people have short memories when it comes to shutdowns, right? Like you said, it's already out of the news cycle. No one's really talking about those ACA subsidies any longer. Do you think that will be forgotten by November of next year?
I think it's hard to say. I think that, look, one of the reasons that the healthcare issue was so poignant around this last shutdown fight is because people were trying to go buy insurance on the exchange. It was open enrollment. So we'll actually have a similar calendar realities as people head into the midterms. I think that, again, though, it goes back to an issue that you raised earlier when we were beginning the conversation, which is who owns the affordability issue? And time again, as with Joe Biden before him, Donald Trump, the incumbent president, who also enjoys majorities in the House and Senate, his party is going to own those issues. So Americans' memories are short for things like electoral issues, but things like economic pain and kitchen table issues, those really motivate voters when it comes to turning out.
And when you look